There are some mistakes that is common to find in beginner guitar players. Some of these mistakes become bad habits, and these bad habits can hold your development back. So today, let's see 5 mistakes that beginners guitar players do when they are learning guitar, and if you do them. Hey guys, I'm Everton Zaquini, and after more than 10 years teaching guitar, I've seen so many people struggling to improve on guitar because of bad habits or mistakes that they did when they started to play guitar. Some of these mistakes, I made them too, and it took a while for me to realize and to improve and stop and get rid of these bad habits or mistakes that I was doing. So before we see these 5 mistakes, remember to subscribe to the channel and ring the bell for you to get the new lessons every week. Mistake number 1, bad posture or bad hand position. This is very common when people starting to play guitar. They hold the guitar in a bad position, especially the hands will be in a bad posture. The left hand will be holding the neck too high, the wrist. In this position can cause problems for you to get a clean sound, to move your fingers. So the right way is to get your wrist down. So when you play with the wrist up here, or the thumb as well, is not in the middle of the neck, it's too high here, you see that for your fingers sometimes, this position, you restrain your movements. It's harder to move. Also your fingers, you'll be a little bit down here. So with your fingers down, it's gonna mute some strings. So if you wanna do a C chord at this position, you get a few notes, but some strings will be muted. So you need to get your thumb down, your wrist down, some space between your palm and your neck, and the fingers curved that you can hear all the notes. Also, another mistake is to keep the palm touching the neck this way. So if you do your chords at this way, it's really hard to clean. If you want to play, for example, the pentatonic scale is really hard, it blocks your movement. So the position is really important. Another thing is on your strumming hand, when you hold your pick. Sometimes people hold the pick with the index finger and the thumb too stretched so the pick can fall. So I hold the pick with my index finger and the thumb, with the index finger curved under the pick. The position of the right hand, if you're playing a scale, I rest my hand here on the bridge to get some support for my hand, and I use the wrist to do the movement. Some guitar players, you rest the fingers here on the body of the guitar, which is fine. It's the one that is more comfortable to you, but the main goal is to keep your hand in a position that is comfortable to play. For strumming, also something that is very common to see, a lot of people you play with the arm, okay? So you play with the arm, and actually the movement is on your wrist. So these little details will make a lot of difference for you to improve on guitar. Now, you're going to see some guitar players that they have a different position. For example, Marty Friedman, that he plays with the wrist on the and hold the pick differently. Some guitar players will have a bigger hand, so they will use the thumb really high here. But it's not common. For the most people, they will need to have this good position with the thumb in the middle, wrist down, right hand here using the wrist, or if you're playing scales or doing solos, right hand with some support. Mistake number 2, stop when changing chords. This mistake is common in very beginner guitar players. They're starting to learn chord change, and then when they have to change chords, they stop and change. So they have the beat 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1. So every time they are holding the tempo. So it's important for you to keep going and keep the tempo. That's the most important thing. Now the tip here is, even if your chord transition is not ready, keep going, keep the tempo. It will force your hand to change on the tempo. Another mistake related to stop or pause to do the chord change or something is to stop when playing. So you're learning a song, you have, for example, the chords G, D, and C, and then in the middle you play G. When you get to D, you got the fingers wrong. Then what happened? You stop and start again. This is very common. So when beginners do some mistake, they stop and start again. And this is something that I always say to my students. Keep going, fix next time, because as the song has parts that we will repeat, next time you can fix it. So if you get G, D, got the C chord wrong, don't worry about it, keep going, come back to G, and keep going the move and fix next time. Try to play the song from top to end. That will make you to play the whole song. Then, after play the whole exercise or the whole song, then you come back to that little mistake that you are doing and work separately on that one just to fix it, and then you put everything together again. Now, mistake number 3. Very beginners sometimes, they just learn a lot of parts of songs. They know like 10 songs, but just little parts. They don't know the intro, or they know a riff, they know a little bit of the solo, they know a little bit of the chords, but they don't play everything. So I've seen a lot of people, they just know little fragments of the song. So when you're learning a song, get all the parts of the song. So it's really important for you at the beginning, pick up the right songs for beginners that you can play the whole song, because this way you start to make your brain also get used to play whole things, get the entire songs. Mistake number 4. This is when you're already playing songs, you can move smoothly between your chord transitions. Now, it's to start to play in a beat, in a BPM, and start to make the song faster in the middle. And this is something that I did when I was starting to play guitar. I had to fix it. I remember once I was just playing a song with the guitar, and a friend of mine, a drummer, he just said, "Man, you don't stop to make the song faster. Keep the tempo." So this is really important for you to practice. Keep the tempo. So if you start in a tempo, try to keep the tempo. Of course, we're gonna have a slightly difference in BPM from beginning at the end, so we can change this a little bit. But if you're playing a song like in this BPM, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, you have to keep slightly near to this BPM. You can do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we start the song slow and then you're playing very fast. This is very common to happen when the person are playing the song, get used to play the song, so it's become easy. As it's comfortable, they don't notice, just play and start to make it faster. So that's the tip number 4. Try to keep the tempo of the song. You can practice with a metronome. If it's hard, you can get a drum backing track, just a drum, for you to play with the drum. And also you can play with the song, keeping the tempo. Tap your foot that you can get used to the tempo of the song. Then you can get the feeling of the tempo, and when you play, you can keep nearly the same BPM, the same tempo of the song. Mistake number 5 is related to the practice. It's very common to find guitar players, especially if they don't have a teacher. They don't know what to study. They don't know what's the step by step. So we start to get a lot of information, sometimes watch videos to learn something, then you go to another video, and then you didn't learn any of them. You don't have the sequence, you don't know what's the next step. So it really can hold your development back. If you don't know what you have to study, what's the next step, the sequence, and then you can keep going, always improving one step at a time. It's really hard to keep improving. So what's happening if you don't know what to practice? You start to practice always the same thing, and then your development will be steady. You won't be going up. Or you can kind of get something that is for your level, then you don't know, you get something that is really high and that you're not prepared to do that yet, and also start to restrain your development. So that's why it's important you know the sequence to practice, especially when you're a beginner. These are the 5 mistakes, and I have one more bonus mistake for you. But before I move to the bonus mistake, I want to know for you, if you did these mistakes or if you have these bad habits, let me know, put in the comments and tell me which one that you are doing or that you did before, or the one that you didn't realize, but after seeing the video, you realize that you're doing these little mistakes. So just let me know in the comments. Now the bonus tip is the counting when starting to play a song. We are used to counting to 3, right? 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, go. But we need to count on the time signature of the song. Basically, the time signature is how you count the song. If you count 1, 2, 1, 2, or if it's 3 countings. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Or if it's 4 counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Most songs you have the counting at 4. The time signature for 4. So we count 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you need the first thing when you start to play a song, especially if you're playing with more people or in a band, count until 4. And then the second thing on the counting is you to count on the BPM, on the tempo of the song. If the song is slow, you count 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you play at this tempo. This is really important. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if the song is fast, you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you play at this beat. So for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. What is common to happen for beginners, and I've seen this many times, is they count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. They count in a beat and start to play faster. Or the opposite, they count fast, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and slow down. So this is also a mistake that happens in beginners. So just be careful with your counting. So count at the tempo that you're going to play the song, and if the song is 2/4, you count 1, 2. If the song is 3/4, 1, 2, 3. If the song is 4/4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Play at the tempo. Alright, so here some mistakes that is common to find on beginners. Some of these mistakes, people will acquire them when they are young and they're starting to play guitar, and after many years practicing without instruction, without someone showing these mistakes, they will do these bad habits. Especially the posture, the position of the hand. Bad position is very common to identify even on guitar players after playing 10 or 20 years, just because when they start to play guitar, no one showed the bad posture, the bad habit, and they just keep doing this for a long time. Now, if you like this video, hit the like and share with your friends, and this way you'll be helping me to keep creating content for you. Practice guitar and pay attention for these mistakes for you to not do them and keep improving on guitar. Thanks for watching, see you next time.